All right. I'm a man that God has blessed with a beautiful, wonderful, gifted, amazing wife and two beautiful little daughters. Now, I look at this story in Virginia. A man named Scott Smith. He has a 15-year-old daughter who is a freshman at Stonebridge High School in Loudoun County. And on May 28th, a boy decides that he's going to put on a dress and then walk into this girl's restroom while she's in there, and he rapes her. The school board denies any culpability, especially as it relates to their transgender policy that allows that type of thing to happen. They don't even acknowledge that it exists. Think about that for a second. They get an attorney immediately that day. They go and they have a sexual assault kit where they confirm that this woman was actually assaulted sexually. This little girl, she's 15 years old. The Loudoun County Sheriff's Department says that something happened. They're not denying it. And the school board wants to take no responsibility for it. Now, Smith, this father, Scott Smith, he shows up, as he should, to a board meeting where he protests the actions of the board. The board continued to not acknowledge what happened, and of course, he has an outburst. Of course, the sheriff's department came in. He avoided arrest because he didn't do anything worthy of an arrest other than use his voice to protest what happened to this little girl. Now, here's the thing that's interesting. The rapist who did this got transferred to another school and he sexually assaulted somebody else. He gets transferred to another school, according to the Epic Times, and was charged with sexual battery after being accused of inappropriately touching a 15-year-old in Ashburn. Of course, the sheriff's department declined to confirm whether or not it's the same male, but the information that they have gathered, the media, seems to corroborate that story. Now, what blows my mind is that during the meeting, Beth Bartz, who's a school board member, asked if there were assaults happening in bathrooms or locker rooms, which of course was a key concern for opponents of letting biological males in girl facilities. And the answer was, to my knowledge, we don't have any record of assaults occurring in our restrooms. This is the superintendent, Scott Ziegler, who said this. He added later that the predator transgender student or person simply does not exist. He was accosted. This is Smith, the father of this poor girl. He was accosted by an activist who insisted his daughter was not assaulted, and an officer came over because of the tense situation started by the activist. Mr. Smith says this. He says, the next thing I know, I'm getting touched from all over the place. I didn't know who was touching me or who was grabbing me. I turned around. The police are grabbing me, and the next thing I know, I'm tackled to the ground. I'm just shocked and horrified. Then this incident was mischaracterized and was used by the National School Boards Association in the letter that I talked about. If you remember, I've already exposed these fools, urging the president to take action on what they called domestic terrorism. Now, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time I checked, you are not a domestic terrorist if you are a father who is trying to make sure your daughter doesn't get raped. What is wrong with these people? Several days later, Merrick Garland, as you know, puts out a memo saying that he's going to use the FBI to come against concerned parents like this. This is insane, you guys. This is crazy. This is crazy. We cannot let up coming against these school boards. Every legal remedy available to us, we must take a stand. For the sake of our children, for the sake of the future of our nation, this nonsense needs to stop. Well, Garland's busy trying to protect his financial interests because his son-in-law is one of the biggest pushers of this critical race theory garbage, of all that curriculum that these schools are paying all kinds of money for. There are daughters that are out there that are getting raped by confused, mentally ill people. We've got to put a stop to this, folks. We've got to fight the good fight. We are Christians, and as Christians, we are called to stand for righteousness. Enough is enough. It is time to stand up, you guys. God bless you.